What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to J.Craft's Garage. I know it's been a minute. It's been a little while since I did my last YouTube video, but with me and my mobile mechanical business and then things I've got going on the weekends, sometimes I find it hard to, be motivated to make some YouTube videos. Well, this time I'm going to make another YouTube video, obviously, but instead of me working on something or doing something mechanical on whatever vehicle that I have and things of that nature, I thought I'd share a little bit of information with y'all. Now, one big question that everybody has, anybody who drives a vehicle, anybody who has some type of a piece of equipment, when is a good time to change the oil? Some say 3,000 miles, some say 5,000 miles, some say 7,500 miles, some say 10,000 miles, some say don't ever change it. Well, I have gotten some information from a vehicle that I've been following. That's right. I've been following, not literally following the vehicle, but I've been keeping track of it. Not literally. Anyways, yeah, a customer of mine has a 2019 Ram 1500 with the 3.6 V6 in it. And the truck has only got, right now, it's probably got about 60,000 miles on it. So, ever since that the customer has been back here and living in the area, they've been getting me to do the oil changes on this truck. Now, with these oil changes, I changed the oil and put back full synthetic oil in it with a Wix and with a Wix filter in it. Excuse me. And I told the customer, I was like, "Hey, why don't we check to see how long this oil will last in this truck?" So you may be wondering, what kind of oil are you using in this truck to go the mileage that you're going? Let me show you. So in the 2019 Ram 1500 with the 3.6 V6, we are running 0W20 AMS oil. It takes 6 quarts and a Wix filter in the engine. Now, you might say, well, that's an OE motor oil. You change it, at the manufacturer's recommendations, or you keep track of it on the dash for when the little indicator says to change the oil. Well, let's see what we came up with on using this oil in this truck. So here's a process of things and how things went. Change the oil in the pickup truck in this 3.6 V6 in this 2019 Ram 1500, and we ran it up to 5,000 miles on the oil. Then when the customer told me they had 5,000 miles on the oil, they gave me a call, and I got an oil analysis kit, which AMSOIL does sell. Not sponsored by the way. AMSOIL does not pay me to do all this. This is all on my own. And got an oil sample from the oil that was in the engine. So after getting an oil sample, I filled out all the information and sent it in to see what they said. Let's see what they said after I got the results back from the oil analysis on this 2019 Ram 1500 with the 3.6. Remember, we're using 0W20 AMSOIL in it, the OE line. We're not using the Signature Series or the high mileage oil in it. We're using the OE for recommended service interval. Let's see what they came back with in the comments on this oil analysis. So here's the oil analysis, and if you look up there, it says 2019 Ram 1500 3.6 engine Chrysler Automotive. Now let's go down here to the comments. Okay, don't worry about that first sentence. Don't worry about the second sentence. Let's look at the last couple of sentences. Focus. Okay, it says fuel dilution is at minor level. Oil is suitable for continued use. Resample in, but how much? 3,500 miles or 65 hours. So the truck's got 5,000 miles. resample at 8,500, 9,000 miles, somewhere in there. Very interesting, isn't it? Now you can see the fuel dilution is there at that percent or indication, and then they said it's a little bit above normal on the fuel dilution. But other than that, yeah, they said to resample in 3,500 miles, so about almost 9,000 miles on this oil that was used in this truck. So, how is this truck used? You might wonder. Is this truck used climbing mountains? Is it used on gravel roads? Is it used, going through water or salt water? What is this truck used for? Well, this truck is primarily used on the highway. Customer uses it primarily on the highway, going back and forth to work. And one thing I will say also, that this truck also was used out of state. After I did the oil analysis, we topped it off, and I told her, I feel comfortable enough that you can run this truck from here to Indiana. Because at the time, she was getting ready to travel to Indiana and back. She goes, I need to get an oil change. I was like, well, let me do the oil sample first, and I'll let you know. So she ran to Indiana and back and put 2,400 miles on the truck within about, let's say, couple weeks time. So by the time she got back, she already had 7,500, 8,000 miles on the truck from going to Indiana and back and then work. So finally, when we got to, I think it was right around, 60,000 miles on the truck, which is about 10,000 miles on the oil, we changed it. So that's one of the things that I love about this oil that I use with AMSOIL. You can change it at 5,000 miles. You can change it at 3,000 miles. You can change it at 10,000 miles, obviously. And it has that good of protection in the engine. Now, that's using it on the highway. If you're using it in the city, the service interval might go down to maybe 7,500 hours. Just depends how the vehicle is used. I need to put that disclaimer in there. If the vehicle idles a lot, if you notice this vehicle had some fuel dilution in it because it does a little bit of idling also. But on an OEM oil from AMSOIL 020, and to be able to go 10,000 miles on the oil is pretty good. And that's one of the reasons why I use that oil in just about everything that I have or that I service. Now, I will say that my 83, I used a different oil in it because it's carbureted and it's a different issue. So that begs the question, how often should you change your oil? The best advice that I can give you is do an oil analysis on the oil. Find out the health. It's like doing a blood test. I mean, whenever you go to a doctor, you do a blood test and they find out what your different levels are in your blood. There may be something that's out of character, maybe out of whack, or not doing well. Or there may be nothing wrong. There may be all normal. You just don't know unless you do an oil analysis on your vehicle or blood test on you. Anyways, I just thought I'd share with y'all some of the findings that I've been working on with this vehicle. I've got a couple more that I'm working on as well. And I hope that y'all find this information beneficial and useful for what you're driving and what you're using, the equipment that you're using, the vehicle that you drive. But in here for a little bit and let you know about another thing that you may be concerned and worried about and things of that nature, how much everything costs. Now, for this oil change, it'll probably run, $65-70. And so if you're doing it every 5,000 miles, that's good. You're doing it religiously at every 5,000 miles. And so in 10,000 miles, you'd probably spend $130. Okay. Which is all fine. It's your money, however you want to spend it. But I know a lot of people are really watching their money nowadays because the way things are, how expensive things are, how expensive vehicles are, how expensive food is, how expensive everything is. They're watching their money and trying to save money. In this scenario that I've just shown, we went 10,000 miles on an oil, that's recommended for OEM changes. And instead of spending, 130 bucks on oil change, on a couple of oil changes within 10,000 miles, she's probably only spent maybe, shoot, less than 100 bucks. Probably, less than 100 bucks. If, at 5,000 miles, you can change the filter again, top it off, with another quart of oil, and keep on driving. That's a pretty big savings, going from about 130 bucks to down to under $100 on oil changes. And especially, if you add it up through the year, you're saving quite a bit of money in a year, especially if your vehicle gets used on the highway extensively. You don't want to, the less oil changes that you can do, to save money, the better. And have an oil that holds up to longer service intervals. That's huge. And I've got quite a few people who are doing that. You can run, 10,000 miles on this oil. And even on the Signature Series, you could run up to 25,000 miles or longer with the right circumstances. I have to put that disclaimer in there because a lot of times vehicles on the highway, the oil will last a lot longer because the oil is not spinning the engine is not spinning as fast. The RPMs is way less on the highway when you're in top gear running, 65, 70 miles an hour versus in the city where you have, a lot of high RPMs from, stop, start, high revs, from stopping and starting and things of that nature. Plus the fuel dilution as well is extensive whenever you're driving around in the city. So that's one thing I wanted to also point out too is the cost savings by doing an oil analysis on your oil, yet using high quality oil and running longer service intervals between your oil changes. Now, I still may not have convinced you to, run longer on your oil and everything, but that's fine. With me, I'd rather not do oil changes as much as I have to, and that's why I do oil analysis or offer oil analysis on the oil that is used on vehicles. Now, I'm not saying that you have to use AMSOIL. There's plenty of other good oils out there. I use it because I'm a dealer for AMSOIL, obviously, and I've had other vehicles in the past that I ran AMSOIL in. And normally, the longevity of the engine would only be less than 200,000 miles. The 2011 Chevrolet Traverse that I had way back in the day, I got 250,000 miles out of the original engine before it gave up. That's huge because them 3.6s in a Traverse, Acadia, Buick, whatever, even if you did normal routine maintenance, wouldn't last, over 200,000 miles because of timing chain issues and things of that nature. So it just proves that AMSOIL has a great product, and I stand behind AMSOIL. And actually, AMSOIL stands behind me also if something happens. If there's an issue with an engine, I can send an oil sample in and find out what happened. If it's the oil breakdown, AMSOIL will stand behind me on, the oil breaking down and things of that nature. Now, will the other companies do that, like Mobil One or Pennzoil or I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't looked into that extensively. But I know, they got written proof from AMSOIL that they'll stand behind their oil and their product. So that's, for me, that's peace of mind that for all that. Does that mean that you can just put that oil in there and forget about it? No. It means that they build a high quality product, and depending on how your vehicle is used, you can run longer service intervals on your vehicle. It just holds up quite well. Well, enough of my soapbox about all this. If anybody's got some questions, comments, concerns, complaints, just drop it down in the comment section down below. And I usually read all the comments and everything, and love to have different discussions with different people and your opinion about oil change intervals. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope everybody is well. Hope everybody is safe. And I look forward to seeing y'all right here on the next video.